Okay, my name is Ross Smith, and about 10 years ago I decided to start building bamboo as a custom rod maker because I felt limited by the graphite industry. I don't directly compete with graphite. This is another choice. Bamboo was always a work-intensive material, even in the old days of bamboo, and it still is today. But it is also still a premium material to work with. Let me give you a little bit of history. About 1890, Hiram Leonard developed what we know today as the laminated bamboo fly rod. And it's progressed through the late 1800s, all of the 1900s. About 1950, 1960, the competition from the lower cost fiberglass industry was really too much for the bamboo rod industry. And everybody started switching to the much cheaper fiberglass as a building material. And during that same time period, the bamboo rods also suffered in quality, trying to compete in price, and they couldn't do it. And we still can't do it. But we do offer an alternative in a material that is very sensitive, very durable, much tougher than graphite. And but it has its own personality, and once you learn the rhythm of the rod and its feel, they're a joy to cast. And I'd like to talk a little bit about how the bamboo works and how we build the rod. When we construct bamboo, it's a solid, not a tube. And the material comes from, can you get this? The material comes from the wall of the bamboo plant, which is actually a grass, not a wood. And when we split the bamboo and then plane it, we try to preserve the densest fibers on the outer edge. And we plane away the softer inner material to develop our taper and the 6 pieces that laminate into the bamboo rod. These would be rolled together and glued and then bound, and it forms a solid laminated beam. And this is where graphite gets its extreme toughness, because it is a solid. If you overstress a tube, the sidewalls will eventually blow out and it will break. On bamboo, the stuff is so durable yet flexible, you can actually pick the rod up by the tip top and not worry about breaking it. I don't recommend it, but it can be done. One of the other advantages of bamboo, if you do break it, I can fix it. I can either repair it, or if it's really bad, I can take measurements and make a whole new section and replace it. There was a lot of myths about how fragile bamboo was. But if you think back prior to 1950, literally millions of these rods were made. It was the only material there was for fly fishing, spin fishing, casting. So naturally, bamboo rods got broken. And a lot of the surviving rods will have a short tip or a broken ferrule or whatnot. But they are tougher than graphite. So we need to get that myth out of the way. You can stand on these, you're not going to break them. And remember, it's a solid, it's not going to collapse. The other thing is, a lot of the old rods were very long, and that went, I think, beyond the days of fly casting to when guys were more or less dappling with the rod, whether it was wood or bamboo. The new tenkara method of Japanese fly fishing is actually going back to those days where they use a long rod with a line attached to it, and they kind of flip it or fling it. They don't really cast and feed out line. But as we changed to actually casting the line, we still had these long rods that gave the people a lot of reach. But a long rod is heavy, and it's also a lever that works against you in the favor of the fish, but it still works against you. So a long rod not only was heavy, it felt heavy. Modern makers like myself will probably try to talk the average individual into an 8-foot or 7'6" fly rod. It's a little shorter, it weighs less, and the leverage starts turning in your favor. At the end of the day, you will actually do less foot-pounds of work using a bamboo fly rod that weighs perhaps twice as much as a graphite fly rod. But the graphite fly rod, being longer, will work your body harder. That's pure mathematics, easy to prove. The other thing is, as a custom builder, I was stuck with what the graphite manufacturers had to offer. And can I build a better Sage than Sage can? I don't think so. All I can change is a few things about the way the rod is assembled. On a bamboo fly rod, I can change my taper so that the rod flexes where I want it to. I can strengthen it, I can weaken it. I can actually custom fit a rod to a customer. And this is the part, as a maker, that I like. I can put a smile on a guy's face, and that's my reward. Sorry about that, guys. It's the truth.